Good morning, everybody. It's the 27th of February. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning. And I'm at a point now on my journey where I'm about 27 odd weeks, 28 odd weeks without alcohol. So I'm coming up to my 7th month anniversary, which I'm looking forward to, because it's just another milestone to sort of tick off, if you like. It's another small achievement. It's another continuation of the journey and a continuation of fulfillment, if you like, of a desire that, frankly, I didn't think I would fulfill and follow through on. So it sort of just continues to support that decision I made over 6 months ago. And what's interesting, I found through that process, is that once you go through a journey like this, and I think you could probably apply this to many things in life, but once you make a decision that you follow through on, you realise that you're not made of glass, and you do have a little bit of a backbone where you can commit to something, however small, however big, and follow through. And I think that that's a really important trait and experience to have, because it reinforces other decisions that you're going to make in your life over whatever it may be. And you know that you've got the gumption to commit and to follow through. Whereas, if I'm honest, I probably didn't beforehand, certainly in this area of my life. So I think that's a really important message that I wanted to send you today. Something else that happened to me last weekend, actually, was part of making this series of videos is for my own benefit, to be able to review and look back as to what I was saying, how I felt 6 months or 2 weeks ago. But also, as I said on these videos, it is to help other people, because I know how important listening to other people's stories for me was, and how inspirational I found a lot of those stories, and also how difficult a lot of those stories were, where people perhaps had relapsed, and how emotional they were. So I took a lot of sort of juice, if you like, out of that process and out of those stories. Hence the reason I want to make these. But I was listening to the radio at the weekend, and where I live, there is a talk radio station called LBC, and they cover a multitude of different topics. But this particular morning, they covered, amongst other topics, they had a discussion around people's reliance on alcohol. And of course, lots of people phoned in with stories about themselves, stories about family members. And I thought, well, why don't I phone in? Not thinking that I'd speak to anybody. But anyway, cut a long story short, I did actually manage to speak to the host for a very short space of time. And it was quite a pleasant experience, actually. It was an opportunity on a wider scale to spend a couple of minutes, because that's all it really was, as to what I'd experienced and what benefits I saw. And I hope that somebody from that may have got some benefit themselves, not only from what I was saying, but from all of the other contributors as well, because there was many. I do recall a guy called in, and he basically said it was about 9:30 in the morning. He was on his way home to have a glass of wine, and the backstory to that was that he was a policeman. He'd just done a 12-hour shift, and this was his evening. So at first the thought was, oh God, that's a bit weird, 9:30 in the morning. But actually, you can sort of understand when your life is turned upside down. If you work a night shift, actually having a couple of drinks in the evening or the morning probably is no different from somebody that has a couple of drinks in the evening, except it's in the morning. But he was recognising that it was becoming more than a couple of drinks, and it was about his challenge to reverse and change that. But there is there is a lot of really good content out there in all sorts of platforms, from TV to radio to YouTube to general websites, free content that I think, as I've said many times, may just pique your curiosity. It may just make you start to think about your own self in relation to alcohol. It may just help you make a decision, even if it's just to reduce as opposed to abstain. Personally, I would recommend having a period of at least 30 days. From what I've experienced, I would say if you can go 30 days to 3 months, ideally the longer period, that's enough time, particularly the longer period, when you really will know what it feels like not to have alcohol in your system and in your life. Sort of 30 days feels just like it's a temporary period, although for a lot of people 30 days is incredibly challenging, I suspect. I've never done 30 days in the sense of dry January or whatever. This is, I've only ever done, no, I'm telling a lie there, I have done 30 days before. And I went back after a longer period than that. I think on this occasion, I've learned some lessons, but my point is, I think that if you can get a good period of time not drinking, then I think it will make you think further. It will question you further, because you won't be able to, in a sense, hide. Your mind will become clearer. It won't be sort of sedated, so to speak. It will be constantly thinking and challenging you, which sounds an awful thing, but actually it's a good thing. And all I would say is try and give yourself that period of time, both mentally and physically, to see how you feel. You'll probably feel a lot further, a lot better than you think. And you'll probably start to experience things that you didn't think were important, probably, and even beneficial, like sleep. Let alone the other advantages, which we can talk about on another video. But I just think it's a really good thing to do. So I'm going to keep this video fairly short, as I've got a busy day today. But if you can, maybe just put the drink down. Speak to you soon. Bye bye.